All right, guys, if you're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, chances are you've seen an ad for this company, Blackline Car Care, and they claim they have like the foam cannon, they have chemicals, they have towels, and their towels, they say, hey, it's their best sellers. They've sold hundreds of thousands of these things. And so I was curious, how well does this stuff work? Is it worth buying? Well, I'm going to answer that question for you today. I bought their foam cannon. Okay, I bought a couple of their towels and some of their microfiber detergent, the Restore microfiber towel cleaning solution. And so hopefully today I'm going to answer those questions. Should you or should you not buy any products from this company? Let's get to it. So one of the items I picked up was the Blackline Car Care limited edition carbon series foam cannon. Now, what is special about this? They claim that it has massive foam output. So when you open the box, the normal retail price on this is about 80 bucks. So it's not cheap at all. It's not inexpensive. Is it worth it though? So when we open the box, all right, you get a flexible tube with a weighted metal ball on the end. All right, you get your lid. Okay, here's the 1/4 inch connect where that connects your pressure washer, and then you have your output side. And then they just give you some instructions in here. Basically, they just show you how to connect to your foam gun. There's a foam gun, and you got to connect it to your trigger sprayer, and I'll show you all that in a minute. And that's about it. And then they give you a little microfiber towel inside the container there. Oh, and this has got 1,000 mil. There's markings on here on the side with your measurements, and this just screws onto here like this. Okay guys, if you're new to foam cannons, let me explain a little bit how this works, okay? So you have your input side. This is coming from your pressure washer. You need a pressure wash to operate one of these foam cannons. And then you have your output, your foam side, and then you have your side where you're picking up your soap solution. Now, how this works, you have a 1/4 inch quick connect. You have your pressure washer, your spray gun, and this just connects like this. So when you pull the trigger, water comes up through your trigger and then mixes. So what it's going to do is force water through a little orifice in here, and then it's going to pull up soap solution from here, mix them together in this area here, and then it's going to spray out the end right here. Now, a few things about this one that I don't like that I already see, okay? It's a premium price. However, this piece right here, okay, let me show you. That piece is actually threaded right into this body here, whereas on other versions, okay, they can just, they unscrew like this. There's actually a separate fitting. And now the only reason that I mentioned this, and potentially why this foam cannon could be dangerous to you or for you, depending on the pressure washer that you have, is this comes with what they call a 1.1 millimeter orifice. Now, what is an orifice size, or what does that mean? So inside the foam cannon, if I was to unscrew this piece, what you're going to have inside here, okay, and let me show you. So inside here, there's going to be a little fitting, all right? And what that fitting is, in fact, let me show you. Okay, so that fitting has a little hole, like this one says 1.1 on it. I'm not sure if you could see, but there's a little hole in the middle, and that threads into that body there. Okay, so when that's threaded into the body, the water from your pressure washer is forced through that little opening right there. So why is that orifice size so important, and why is 1.1 potentially dangerous? Well, number one, a 1.1, that's the smallest size, which means also what you're going to do is however much water you're forcing in here, you're going to suck up more soap solution out of the bottle. Now that's really good. It produces a ton of foam. That's great. The problem is though, is that your pressure washer has to work harder to push the water through that little opening than it does with a larger size opening. So as an example, if you have a really high quality pressure washer that puts out like 1.6, 1.82 gallons a minute, that 1.1 opening might actually cause that pressure washer to work harder to push water through there. And why is that dangerous? It's because it's going to cause the electric usage, the amp draw on that motor. It's going to cause it to go up, to skyrocket in some cases. And what you can have happen though is you could burn up circuit boards, you could burn up the motor, you could trip breakers. All right, guys, so there's an adjustment. So on the output side, there's an adjustment. You could see right here, this fan. Okay, as this turns, as you turn this, your fan pattern can adjust wider or narrower, but it stays vertical. Now, if we go with other foam cannons like this from Quiver, we could see that this changes, so I can adjust it from vertical to horizontal, and I could switch, I can open and close the fan pattern. So this has multiple different options. So now that you've seen some of the features or lack of features that this actually has, let's get to some testing, and I'm going to show you just how well it works against the competition. I have 4 others to test this against. So for our testing, we're going to be using the Detail Company Soft Wash Mix 15:1. We're going to test the Blackline, okay, on the passenger side front door. And what we're going to do is we're going to pit that against the MJJC, the Pro S3 or the S3.0 on the back door here. Let's see how they look. So we get decent foam. I wouldn't call this quite shaving cream foam. I have this turned all the way up to maximum foam. I wouldn't call this shaving cream foam. It is kind of runny, but let's quickly check against the MJJC. So I think you could see a difference really quick right away. This has more of a shaving cream type foam. This is thicker. It's less runny. It is running off the panel. However, this is, you could definitely tell this is on the Blackline side, it is definitely waterier foam. Let's get this rinsed and dried, get to the next foam cannon test. Okay, so the next test, we're gonna do Blackline again, on the front side again, and on the back side, we're going to use the Quiver foam cannon. So we have an $80 plus foam cannon versus a $65 foam cannon this time. So once again, we see the Blackline foam cannon. Obviously, this is a waterier, runnier foam, whereas the MJJC, or actually whereas the Quiver foam cannon, it's an MJJC Pro V2, it's the same thing. But you could see it's got more shaving cream foam. Personally, as far as foam output goes, I honestly like this better because this is dwelling longer. You could see it's covering the paint. However, this one, you could see it's kind of breaking down and just coming off in, like, we'll call it clumps. But this definitely produces the better foam out of both of them. So the next one is gonna be Blackline versus the Rain Covo. This is a $30-something one from Amazon versus the $80 Blackline. And now the Rain Covo from Amazon. All right, so if we look at these now, the Rain Covo, this to me produced a little bit more foam than the Blackline. However, right now they are very close. We didn't see that complete shaving cream type foam that we saw in the first two. So right now, as this is dwelling, this actually, well, I did put another layer on here, but these two are acting very similar. So again, the $30 Rain Covo from Amazon versus the $80 Blackline. All right, so the last comparison test, we're gonna do Blackline versus my Final Details Car Care bottle. This was like $22 from the Final Details versus an $80 foam cannon. Let's see how they work. And now the Final Details. So as I look at both of these side by side, these look to me the most similar out of all of them. The Blackline at $80 versus the Final Details at like $22, $23. All right, guys, so what do you think? How did this fare against all the other ones that we tested? $80, okay? $80, actually $80 plus when not on sale. Depending on when you go, you could buy this on Amazon. I know I've seen it as cheap as $49 there. So it really depends when you buy it. But we've pitted this against the MJJC, an $89 foam cannon. Okay, the Pro S or the S 3.0. We pitted it against the Quiver, the $65 foam cannon. Now this is the same thing and it's an MJJC Pro 2.0, which normally runs like $80 plus. So this is economical. But we pitted it against the Rain Covo foam cannon from Amazon. This is only like $30, guys. Okay, and then we pitted it against the Final Details foam cannon, which only runs me like 22 or 23 bucks. Again, we used all the same wash in all of them. You saw that. Am I rating this a buy or not? This is absolutely a don't buy, guys. This not only is a don't buy, there's other performers that do just as well at literally a third of the cost. You know, and if you're going to spend $80, I showed you there's foam cannons that do a way better job or produce more foam, better foam. The other thing I noticed, I filled this thing up completely at one point. When I first started testing, I noticed I screwed up. I didn't start recording. When we started, I had this thing completely full. Right now, in only doing 4 doors, the 4 front doors, this thing is actually, you know what? I can't even see inside here. I have to open this up to see. This window is absolutely horrible. And I'm looking at this right now. Okay, now I see where the line is. In just doing 4 doors, guys, this thing, I used over half the canister. This mixes a lot of product. You're going to use a lot. Not only does this produce less foam than the others, you are going to use a lot more product. If you're going to foam the entire car, you're probably going to go through almost an entire 1000 ml. Whereas I know if I use this one here, if I fill this up to 1000 and I do the entire car, I can actually, there's going to be enough left where I could rinse it off and I could foam again the entire car. So again, the Blackline, definitely a do not buy. Not only does it produce less foam, but it could be dangerous for your pressure washer if you don't know what you're doing or know, you know, what your amp draw is, anything like that, because it's 1.1 orifice, and it doesn't come with a different orifice size to put in there just in case. So again, don't buy. All right, that leads me to the second product that I bought from them that I wanted to try out, which is their Carbon Series Twisted Loop Microfiber Drying Towel. This is their XL 24 by 36. So this is a really, really big size, guys. A full 2 foot by 3 foot, really big towel. Now, what I've found about this towel though, this towel is completely different than their foam cannon. This is a 1300 GSM twist loop design. Now GSM, for those of you who don't know, GSM is grams per square meter. And what that is, it's the weight of the actual fabric. It's not the weave, it's not the stitch, it's just how much, if I was gonna take a square meter of fabric of whatever this is going to weigh 1300 grams. Now most towels, like in fact I use this one to dry off that foam cannon, this is like 1100, 900 to 1100 GSM. I could physically feel that this is a thinner towel than this. The other thing too is this is made in Korea using a 70-30 blend. The best towels in the world come from South Korea, and this is one of those products. Also, this is a 70-30 blend. So if you go on Amazon, you're looking around, a lot of them might be 90-10. A lot of them might be 80-20 or 75-25. The best towels on earth are literally 70-30 blend, okay, including from all the major towel manufacturers that you might see out there. This one is 70-30. All right, guys, I just want to show you just how well this thing works and how quickly you could dry a car. I'm not going to speed this up. I'm not going to slow it down. I'm going to dry this just how I normally would, or how fast you could dry your car with the Blackline 70-30 Korean blend towel. So I start with the window all the time. You want to get your towel a little bit wet, a little bit damp. It helps soak up the water better. But look at this. Look how fast you can do this. All right, guys, it was that easy, and as you could see the timer shown below, the actual time that it took me to dry the whole car. These things just soak up the water. It's really big, 2 foot by 3 foot. And now here's the rub. Do I recommend these towels? Yes. These are very high quality towels. They're made in Korea. They're nice twist loop design. 1300 GSM, super heavy, okay? They soak up the water. It's 2 foot by 3 foot. However, at regular price, this is a do not buy, because there are other towels on the market that are better than this for cheaper, for less cost. Let's put it that way. Now on sale, these things are like $25, $26 when they go on sale. At that price, I think they're a total buy. They're high quality. I really like these. The care and maintenance of towels, especially when you're paying 25 or 30 bucks a piece for them, is critical. You want to use something, you don't want to use anything with like fabric softener in it. You don't want to use dryer sheets when you're drying. You want to use something free and clear, like a Tide Free and Clear, an All Free and Clear, or specifically a microfiber detergent. And you're going to want to wash your drying towels separately, okay? So every 1 to 2 uses, you're going to wash these. You're going to put like 1 ounce in your washing machine and then wash these with it. You're going to wash it on either cold or warm in your washing machine, and then you're going to dry it on your lowest setting, or you're just going to line dry, hang dry. That's going to give you the best performance, especially if you're using some type of drying aid. Do not let these dry. If you have a drying aid, especially anything with ceramic in it, do not let these dry. Do not let them sit out and dry. That ceramic will make them hydrophobic. They're going to stop working so good for you. The other thing, when you first get these, you're going to want to wash them. Don't wash them with other towels. Don't wash them with your clothes or anything else. Wash these separately. This black is going to really come out on your first couple washes. In fact, over time, you're going to notice that they're not going to be black anymore. They're going to start to turn like a dark gray color. That's normal. That's just how towels work. With the dye like this, you're going to want to, it's just inevitable, okay, guys? So in any event, that's the Blackline Car Care, the items that I bought. All right, guys, so again, the Blackline foam cannon, completely, in my opinion only, this thing is complete garbage for what you pay for it. The regular price is like $84, 85 bucks. On sale, I've seen it as cheap as like $50, $49.99, something like that. These are a buy on sale. Most definitely, they're high quality. I highly recommend them. You saw how fast they could dry a car. And, you know, they work really well. They soak up the water. But again, guys, you know, that's just my opinion. And, you know, you got to be careful when you see stuff online advertised. Oh, they sold this many. This is, you know, the foam output. You got to know what you're getting into. And I hope this really cleared some things up for you. You saw the comparisons. Well, anyway, until the next video, thanks for watching, guys. And hit that like, hit the subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you've tried this stuff out, or maybe you've seen something else advertised on social media that you want me to test out, let me know. And maybe I'll check it out. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.